All right, we have a gold 1 Lucio. Now, if you want coaching yourself, feel free to join the Discord, as well as I'm not accepting any codes until season 13, but season 13 is only in like 12 hours by time of this like upload, I'm assuming. So just keep that in mind, that I'm probably not going to be accepting any codes until season 13, just because if you send any codes in, more than likely the codes are going to reset and then I'm not going to get to it. So yeah, just once again, keep that in mind. As well as make sure to like and subscribe and check out Zuxi. His channel will be in the description. Okay. Yeah, not really a whole lot to talk about right there. I guess you kind of could try to like rotate a little bit more better with your team right there, because I think your team started off over here but rotated over there and you stayed over here. Just have like a little bit more like awareness on what your team is overall doing, so you can kind of assist your team a little bit right there, as well as like kind of sitting over here kind of separates you from your team and it might overall get you killed. As well as kind of diving in like this, not the biggest fan of. And the reason why I say I'm not the biggest fan of you like diving in like this is because overall it's there's a chance that you're gonna die. I'd say there's a pretty good chance, as well as like they do have a Life Weaver and Baptiste. Baptiste has 2 sustain abilities, as well as Life Weaver is able to kind of pull out the Baptiste if you are winning the situation. So just keep that in mind. Okay, luckily the Baptiste backed up instead of kind of like pushing forward on you. If the Baptiste like would have walked up just a little bit right there, you probably would have died. You did have Boop right there as well. That Boop probably would have killed the Life Weaver. Let's check the Life Weaver's health real quick. Okay, maybe it wouldn't have been able to kill him. Probably would have gotten him down to like 1 tap though. And with just a little bit more accuracy on these shots right here, you probably would have been able to kill him a little bit easier. Right. Not really the biggest fan of you kind of like sitting AFK right here. Just gives you a better chance to get like domed or killed or anything like that. Kind of like try to move like right around here and just peek like right around on this corner right here. That should be a little bit better. Okay, Reaper TP'd in the back line. Overall, they're kind of like, okay, so I guess they overall just like rushed you. Probably on your tracer from dying right there. But I mean, I guess overall what you could do is probably kind of try to like find a moment you can like enable, I guess, your Doomfist, and maybe your soldier will kind of try to follow in as well, and just kind of like try to focus on who your Doomfist is trying to kill right there, just so you can maybe try to get like 1 or 2 picks off with your Doomfist so you can change the team fight around. But overall, not really necessarily I'm going to blame you for that. Not everyone's going to win every single team fight. So just best rotate out. Hey, not really a whole lot to talk about right here. Just kind of regrouping. Okay, not really a whole lot to talk about right now. Once again, like just not really anything that you're doing too wrong. I guess playing right over here is a little risky. Just keep that in mind. Like if your Life Weaver or if your Doomfist didn't go this way and you kind of like walk around this way by yourself, just for like future notice, more than likely, or there's a good chance that you're going to die, especially if the Orisa hits like a javelin on you. So just keep that in mind, as well as yeah, I guess if you focused on the Orisa a little bit more right there, probably would have killed her. Just look over here real quick. I think you're on PC, that's why your movement's a little bit more twitchy. So I think you're on PC, so just be able to notify like that he's getting pulled right there, and then just keep focusing on the Orisa. If you would have focused on the Orisa just a tad bit sooner, she probably would have died. There's a good chance, or they would have had to use immortality a little bit more soon, and using that immortality a little bit more soon might benefit you a little bit later. Okay, let's talk about your movement, because I've kind of noticed this a little bit. You kind of fling yourself a lot, and normally that's not bad, but a lot of times I've noticed that you kind of like wall riding and you fling yourself into like straight into the enemy. And now it is good to do that if you know the combo to do that, but I mean, you got to be aware of alt tracking, especially when you do play Lucio. Alt tracking is very important. So, you know, early on the fight, just before you won it, you know that the Lifeweaver used alt, you know that the Baptiste used alt. Sorry, I just said the on there. You know that the Soldier used alt. So if all three of them have alt, there's a good chance that the other two do have alt. Now, obviously, as you can see right now, the Orisa doesn't have alt, but that's kind of hard to tell that if she does or doesn't have alt. As well as it can be a little bit hard to tell if the Reaper does or doesn't have alt. But I mean, if you can tell that like every single player on your team has alt besides for you, and then there's just like a good chance if the enemy team hasn't used alt, they all probably have alt as well. So being aware of like who's alt and who hasn't alted, you kind of could have had like a little bit of an advantage on that Reaper right there, and would have known that the Reaper was probably looking for an alt. Especially in this rank, Reapers are going to be looking for alts like crazy, so you just boop back the Reaper right there, and you probably just overall get to survive that. I think your team should overall win this. Oh, I guess not.
Ultimate is charging.
Oh, for sure thought that your team was gonna win that.
Let's get some healing beats going.
Okay, thinking about alts. Right now is like pretty much a good time to figure out who overall has alts and who doesn't have alt. So you realize that every single player on there can use their alt besides for the Orisa, so you should guarantee know that Orisa's probably got alt by now. So try to get your beat and try to preemptively use your beat to save your team against the Orisa ult. Especially after you see that. If you see Orisa use like all of her cooldowns and walks forward aggressively like that, you can 1000% tell that she's probably got alt. Unfortunate, kind of used alt like a tad bit later right there. I don't really think you were expecting the Orisa to alt that. With Lucio, kind of got to alt track a little bit the enemy team, so you can kind of preemptively know when to use beat and when not to use beat. Unfortunately, end result, it might have costed you the team fight, or your team the team fight. Maybe not, but there's a chance that it might have. Okay. Honestly, I will give you credit for trying to finish off the Reaper right there. If you would have hit headshots, you probably would have killed him. It's a nice rotate. Now, kind of try to figure out the situation that's going on with your team right here. Figure out who you need to peel for. Figure out who you need to like kind of engage with. Overall, I think your best, the best person to kind of engage with is overall your Tracer and your Doomfist right now. So I'd speed boost like straight up right over here, kind of see if I can help out my Doomfist with getting any picks or anything like that. Because Doomfist, especially if you have Doomfist in this rank, even if they connect their shots, a lot of times Doomfists are probably going to mess up getting free kills. But kind of like Hog Hook, where if a Hog hooks somebody full health, you're going to kind of want to shoot them a little bit. If Doomfist punches them, you're going to want to shoot them a little bit, just so you can help your tank finish off a kill, help your tank get like a little bit more of a pick.
This ends now.
Okay. Yeah, once again, kind of like flinging yourself at the enemy like that. You don't want to do that against a Reaper, because Reaper that gives the Reaper a little bit more damage. Now, unfortunately, though, I think that overall might be the end of the team fight. There might be a chance you might win this, but I mean, the odds are pretty low. So just kind of like think about like if their team's kind of pushing up, kind of try to rotate back a little bit. If you can, try to like kind of like assist your team, maybe assist your Doomfist with a little bit of a speed boost and everything like that. Same thing with your Tracer. Now, don't like if the Tracer's in their backline, don't fling yourself into the back line to go and help out because Lucio doesn't have the escapability as Tracer. So just overall keep that in mind. Like if they're with you and your team's kind of grouped up a little bit, try to overall like figure out when you need to heal your team, when you should be speed boosting your team in a lot more. All right, we're gonna speed up right here.
You want that louder?
Gonna be able to contest this. Dang. Yeah. Overall, not really a whole lot you can do right there. Team fight was basically over, and they're just in cleanup mode. So yeah, once again, probably should be healing like a little bit more. I've noticed that there's a few times that you're kind of like speed boosting a little bit more than you should be healing. And it's kind of getting a few of your teammates like low, and then sooner or later they're gonna get killed. Especially when you have a Life Weaver on your team. Life Weaver isn't going to be able to like assist everyone at once, so you should be able to give like that your Life Weaver that little bit of time to while you're healing to be able to like kind of assist a little bit more. If you understand what I'm kind of saying. I'm not sure if I explained that the best way, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to explain right there.
Still the fastest gun in the New West.
I'm gonna speed up right here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, we're gonna slow down.
Capture the objective.
Okay. Not our
As well
best
as
fight,
let's talk
but we
about
can
speed
still
boosting in the
do
beginning
this.
of the game. So there are certain situations where you're not going to want to speed boost, but I mean overall in this situation it might be best if you do speed boost. And the reason why I'm saying it is kind of best to speed boost is because you kind of want to get control of this point ASAP right here. But usually if it's like kind of like escort, I want to say, there's times where you're not going to want to speed boost your team upwards, and the reason why for that is because you kind of want to save it for like the engage on the team fight. If they're like holding a choke point, for example, like on Blizzard World, you're not going to want to speed up boost like straight out of spawn, especially if they're holding that choke point early on. You're going to kind of want to hold on to that and then help them out through the choke point.
Gotta go quick.
If you do.
Okay. Yeah, right here. This is the perfect moment. Like just a few seconds, ago, this would have been the perfect moment to kind of like speed boost. Because if you would have speed boost your Orisa in right there, your Orisa probably would already be like right here, and she'd probably be getting straight in the face of all those players. And more than likely, after that speed boost, you kind of heal once you get up to this choke point right here. Your Orisa is probably going to get a kill. Thankfully, though, the Zarya kind of sat in the doorway one tap. That normally doesn't happen in Platinum, though, or it's less likely to happen in Platinum, so just keep that in mind.
Let's do it fast.
Okay.
Watch your back. This beat will heal you up. Accelerando.
Not really a whole lot to talk about right here. Teams overall just regrouping. You save your ability to kind of just be able to enable your team a little bit more as soon as you can. Also, constantly be looking for boops. I know that right now, though, it's probably not best to be booping, but just constantly be aware that like your boop, I believe it still does 45 damage. Just last time I checked, that it does is 45 damage. So that's a lot of damage. So just keep that in mind. Booping does quite a bit amount of burst damage.
Got healing over here.
Unfortunate. Nice movement, kind of trying to avoid the Reaper right there. As soon as the Reaper kind of like fades out like that, probably not best if you chase him. And the reason why is because there is like kind of a mini right over here, and I'm assuming that's probably what he's going for, is the mini. So you just chasing him right here, you're probably going to get like pretty close to him, and if he walks back on you like that, there's a good chance he's probably going to kill you before you kill him. So just be aware. Look for what's killable for your team. Unfortunately, though, you kind of chase the Reaper a little bit right there instead of kind of assisting your team. And overall, that's not really a good benefit. Okay, so in this situation right here, though, you do have two options. You can either heal boost or you can either speed boost in and hope that your team dives straight right through this. I mean, both situations probably won't win this team fight, I'm assuming. And that's just mainly because they have Baptiste all out as well as Life Weaver Tree right here. It's going to be really hard to win that, especially since like all your teammates are kind of right here, and your Orisa, yeah, your Orisa's overall going to dive in. So yeah, it's probably best if you would have just like kind of tried to speed boost your team up a little bit, see if you can like assist your team and help your team get in there like past that Baptiste ult. But that's only in this certain situation where your team's kind of like clamped down by the Baptiste ult. In other situations, if Baptiste ults, you're more than likely going to want to speed boost your team out. Yeah, once again, kind of rotated around like that. It was a little pointless, and in result, it got your Orisa killed. Is your team gonna clutch that? Wow. Wow, what a clutch by your team right there. Dude, big props for your team. 3v5. That is nice. Okay, you have ult. Think about who might have ult. You know that the Life Weaver used ult, and you know that the Baptiste used ult. So who else might have ult? Well, the Reaper, the Ashe, and the Diva. Those three right there probably are the ones that have ult. So just be ready for those ults, especially since you already have ult right here. So just be aware that you want to preemptively be using that ult. Yeah. For example, right here though. So you see how your Orisa kind of like walked in like that, kind of got discorded. That's your perfect moment to like try to speed boost her out, because she's going to take a lot of damage with that discord. Unfortunately, she did take a lot of damage and is now dead. As well as that beat right there. You already lost the team fight. You do not want to be using beat there at all. That genuinely might cost you. Yeah, just keep that in mind. You do not want to ult when the team fight's over. Like, you know that your soldier was dead, you know the soldier was rotating, and as well as your Orisa was one tap. More than likely, if your Orisa is below a 10th health right there, you're not going to have enough time to get your beat off before she dies. Maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to, but there's a good chance that she's going to die before you get it off. Okay. Not really bad what you're doing right here. Kinda a little bit too like hyper fixated on the Reaper right there. Maybe kinda try to figure out like what's overall going on in front of you a little bit as well, just to figure out like the overall situation. But you can keep focusing on the Reaper, just kind of booping him back a little bit as well, but just overall kind of try to focus on like what's going on in front of you too. So we're gonna wait a little bit before I stop. Okay, yeah. Overall, I kind of dove out like this a little bit too soon, kind of leaving your team in the dust right there. Kind of got your team a little low, aka your Zarya a little low. And then your best bet probably would have been to rotate all the way around, because you go right through here, I can guarantee you in Platinum, probably not making it out. So just keep that in mind. Overall, though, I don't think they're... Yeah, overall, there's not really a whole lot you can do. Just rotate out and wait for your team again. You have your ult coming up. You have Mei ult. That's at 60. You have your Life Weaver ult. That's at 70. And your Zarya ult at almost 60. So your best bet is kind of like stall a little bit this fight. Don't try to like use your ult right away this fight. just so you can have like a little bit more of a team ult next fight, as well as a little bit unfortunate on the fact that like the Zen has ult at this moment. So probably you're gonna want to like use your ult. You're probably gonna want to use your ult when the Zen uses ult, just so you can kind of like cancel both of the ults out and make sure that nobody really survives that. Yeah, I mean, unfortunate on that fact. The Reaper kind of walked in behind right here. You could hear him shooting quite a bit, and that's how he got ult. So just be aware on the sound cues, so you can kind of turn around and boop him back a little bit. Because I mean, I heard him shoot like 8 times there. Wasn't even paying attention to the Reaper at all, but I heard him shoot 8 times there, or not 8 times. That's a little bit of an over exaggeration, but I heard him shoot quite a few times right there, and it was enough times for me to realize, like, if I was playing Lucio and I was up here, probably turn around, see if I can boop that Reaper away, just so he doesn't end up getting a pick.
Freeze! Don't move.
Fortunately, though, I think that's probably over.
Soldier 76 reporting. Match this BPM.
Yeah, overall, that's unfortunately over. Wait, maybe? No, that's over. Unfortunate. So yeah, let's overall talk about everything that you need to work on. Speed boost, heal boost, maybe just heal a little bit more from what I've noticed. Certain cases that you kind of got to notice when your team needs to be healed and when your team needs to be like speed boosted in, as well as movement. Your movement isn't bad. You're just kind of doing a little bit too much at moments, and what I mean by doing a little bit too much is you're kind of like flinging yourself at the enemy team. Just be a little bit more what's the word, conservative, I guess. Like, be a little bit more conservative when it comes to like holding on, or playing like a little bit more disciplined. Just overall try to just be a little bit more safe when you're moving around and everything like that. Try to use your boop a little bit more too. I noticed that you didn't really use your boop like enough from what I would normally do. So try to use your boop a little bit more. And I mean, overall damage, just a little bit more of a mechanical issue. Just overall, it'll come to you. But yeah, anyway, I hope this video helped you out, and I will see you later.